The next person who is going to give us a brief address before I give you lunch is a business entrepreneur, an industrialist with over 40 years experience in the steel industry as a proprietor. He set other manufacturing enterprises in timber treatment, wire products, farming, iron ore, mining, and processing. He served on various boards, notably the Ugandan Civil Aviation Authority. He was a member of the board and steering group that formed Centenary Bank in Uganda, one of the leading indigenous national banks. He was a member of the Constituent Assembly, which promulgated the Constitution of Uganda of 1995. He served as a senior presidential advisor and was appointed Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and he's been at that post since 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Francis Mwebesa, Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives of Uganda.
Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to address you today at the 15th UK/Africa Business Summit. I thank the organizers for bringing us together to strengthen the vital links between Africa and the United Kingdom. Uganda's participation in this summit is anchored on our commitment to transform trade and industry while positioning our country as a regional hub for production, commerce, and investment. The United Kingdom and Uganda have a rich history of cooperation. Uganda's exports to UK, valued at USA 28 million in 2024, showcase our potential to export of coffee, tea, spices, flowers, fruits, and vegetables, and flowers while importing vital goods like pharmaceuticals, electrical machinery at $71 million. In Uganda, even before you started buying goods from anywhere on the globe, the language that was known was anything said made in England. It is now recently, but they no longer use made in where, but still, the word still ranks very hard. That made in England is the best thing that one can get on the market. By leveraging UK's expertise in advanced technologies and innovation, we can enhance our productivity, quality, competitiveness, driving our annual growth and prosperity. Allow me to briefly highlight what Uganda is doing in the key areas of trade and investment. The 10-fold trade growth strategy has been launched, aimed at multiplying Uganda's exports 10 times over the next decade. This strategy prioritizes diversification of export products, especially agro-processed goods, light manufacturing, and services. Before I say anything, I want to commend His Excellency the President of Uganda. Other than the President, he's promoted things in manufacturing, in export orientation. Even the current day, the only word he talks is about adding value to our products. And this brings me to say that one asks himself, what is industry in Uganda, or who is an industrialist? The industrialist in Uganda is the young generation who have earned the skill and who have the know-how and who now need a small machine to start the former industrial revolution, of which the machine in the backyard made the European countries currently. And that was the industrial revolution. And I just want to bring you a message, whoever is here, that is his current vision, and that is his current gospel, that young people will be awarded something, to have a machinery in the backyard, so as to put what they have been seeing in labs and so on. And in that case, we have established a lot of industrial hubs meant for our people who are leaving the young population for employment, to be able to use the skills they have learned in school. And I would say currently that is the gospel of His Excellency the President. And we anticipate all our children who are leaving school to have a machine in the backyard, apply the skills they have been learning in school, and that is our industrial revolution of Uganda, promoted by His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Uganda commends the efforts of Her Excellency His Excellency the British High Commissioner to Uganda in establishing Uganda growth to support our unfold growth strategy. We look forward to a win-win situation for both countries, driving investment, export development, and mutual growth. Uganda is making a significant stride in finalizing the development of national export development strategy, in short, NEDS, which is currently in the final stages of review. We are grateful for the financial support from the United Kingdom, which has been instrumental in this process. It will play a crucial role in boosting our exports, particularly the key markets like UK, European Union, and others. It will also be reinforced by our economic and commercial diplomacy initiatives. This framework will work in tandem to drive growth, increase competitiveness, and strengthen our global trade relations. Uganda has undertaken significant trade reforms to improve the trade and investment in innovation. We are harmonizing trade regulations and standards with our regional and international partners, particularly under the African Continental Free Trade Areas and the World Trade Organization. This will help to unpack tariff barriers in export markets of interest. The Prime Minister, who is the Minister of East African Affairs and the Regional Cooperation, is already mentioned about the East African Community, about the Mwebesa, and now currently the African Continental Free Trade Areas, which make the market more wider for anybody to export without trade barriers. We recognize that policy alone is not enough. Our businesses must be export ready. Uganda is therefore building capacity for SMEs through training in quality standards and packaging and certification, which I already mentioned earlier, to our young people who are going into small establishments of value addition. Government is supporting compliance with international sanitary and phytosanitary measures to boost access to our agricultural exports, promoting digital platform for market intelligence to help exporters identify and respond to new opportunities. I would say we are trying to reform our Chamber of Commerce, and I just want also again to thank His Excellency the President, who has been our Chamber of Commerce all along. A new Chamber of Commerce is going to be formed shortly, reformed to meet the current international trade relations between countries. And other methods, as regards financing, we are putting back the Uganda Cooperative Bank, which is being established to support exporters and SMEs with finance and market access. Ongoing legal and regulatory reforms are reducing non-tariff barriers and streaming out and provide for trade and investment. Uganda has invested in trade facilitation systems to facilitate seamless flow of cargo. We have implemented the National Electric Single Window to streamline customs, producers, procedures, and reduce clearance times. Invested in trade-related infrastructure, including logistic hubs, industrial parks, and improved border posts. Following the launch of Uganda Airlines direct flights to UK, we have witnessed an increase in cargo to UK. The flights will continue to facilitate the swift movement of people, goods, and services between Uganda and the United Kingdom. The airline will ease the export of organic Ugandan products like fish, coffee, fruits, and vegetables and fruit facilitation, UK investors, and tourists to Uganda. We have a catalogue of tax incentives available to investors in Uganda across the strategy sectors of the economy. As you heard one of the gentlemen here said, Uganda is up to now one of the best investment destinations. All is being offered. You can register your company and you can be allowed to invest in Uganda. By giving a one-stop center of 24 hours, you can register a company. Sectors of the economy. Uganda has maintained inflation under 5%, with an average economic growth of 6.3 projected to be 7 by the end of the financial year. A 14% on returns on investments and a 30% returns on equity for those investing in capital markets. It is strategically located investment and logistics hub for East and Central Africa, a very attractive location for investment. As I conclude my remarks, Uganda is a keen address the prevailing trade imbalance and is ready to supply competitive, high-quality organic agricultural and manufactured products. I urge you for a greater inclusion of Ugandan goods under the UK Everything but Arms that offers duty-free quota, free market access. Strategic investment in compliance infrastructure that will get us greater strides in accessing regional and global value chains for our exports. As Uganda continues to industrialize, we see great value in expanding technical support, knowledge and exchange, especially in value addition, productivity and enhancement, and small and medium enterprises development. We welcome opportunities for collaboration, upgrading our industrial training institutions, supporting research and innovation centers, and joint technology incubation programs. Investment and partnership under the ATMs as tenfold growth strategy, including services sectors like business processing, outsourcing, development of free zone and industrial parks, in particular in Namambe, Mbale, and Soroti. These parks offer a robust infrastructure ideal for setting up operations. Investment projects under Uganda Development Corporation are ready for serious investors. Thank you for listening to me.